Hi, this is Neeraj Jaswal and welcome to this episode. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to populate the home screen and add the list of the feed items to the list. So let's go ahead and add a scroll view to this screen. So basically right now we have the panel. The panel is basically on the darker side. What we can do is we can make it white. So just change the alpha to 255. It will make it white. So the next thing is, let us add a scroll view. So right click on the panel, select from the UI scroll view. Now it is basically anchored in the middle. So what we can do is go to the rect transform presets. Make sure you select the scroll view. Go to the rect transform presets. Here in the anchor presets, press the alt key and make sure you choose this one, the stretch X and Y. This will make it occupy the full screen. So once this is done, just save it. We want right now we would like it to occupy the full screen. The next thing is we are going to add whatever the data we are retrieving from the feed to the this content basically. So before that, let us make one dummy sample of what we are going to add. So what we can do is, like, to this content, let us add a button. This will be our button which we are going to use to populate. And to this content, we are going to add a grid layout. The reason is we want it to be a two column basically scroll view. So let us go ahead and add a two column with grid layout. We'll leave everything is as it is and we will add fixed column count and set it to 2. Next is, let us work on the button. So button, what we can do is, we'll increase the size a bit. The reason it is basically not occupying is because it takes up the size of the cell. So for now, just make it 200. I'll show you how to make it work later on. I'll just increase the size. We have to change the cell size from the script. For now, we'll just first design this button. Right now, this button will be taking up the sprite, whatever it is. We'll set it dynamically, and then we want this text to be aligned at the bottom and left aligned. Also, we want it to be slightly at a distance from the left, right, and also from bottom. Next thing, what we are going to do is, I am going to add one more panel. This is so that I can show it like this, and I'll make sure that it is preset to bottom. This should be the text will be basically on top of it, this. So when the image, when we set the image on this button at the background, this will be on the front, and we will just change the color of the panel. Instead of white, I am going to set it to slightly on the darker side, and I will decrease the alpha. I'll keep it as 120, and the text color I'll change to white. Now I think so, yeah, this should work. I am going to set this as the prefab. So let me create a prefab folder. This will be basically feed items. Now this I am going to drag here and set it here. So this will be our prefab, will be reusable, and I think for the button right now we will leave it as it is. We'll apply it, all the changes are assigned to the button or the feed item prefab. What we can do is we'll just test out how it looks right now. So it is aligning, but right now it is having the space. So to take care of that space, I need to do something. I'll just add a script. I'll just create the script here. Home screen. I'll just name it as home only. My computer has become a bit slow as I am also doing the couple of more things. I'll just delete it and just name it as, I'll create a script. I'll name it as home. Let me open it in MonoDevelop. So here, let's open it in the MonoDevelop, and I am going to basically write a piece of code. Before that, let me get the reference to the grid layout, because I need to change the cell size basically of the grid layout. This I am going to set from the Unity editor. Before doing that, let me import the Unity Engine UI package. And then here dot cell size two-dimensional vector, and here I am also going to retrieve the red transform of the content, basically the parent where the feed items will be added. So I'll just content dot rect dot, let me see, somewhere I am like there is an error. Looks okay to me. Rect transform, yeah, this is the, so for now I'm just let me, why is this error, it's not taking it up, yeah, now it has enabled. So let transform dot width by 2 and content, see, I'll keep the width of that button half of the content, and the even the height I'll keep it as the same, as I'll keep it as square. So even if it overflows, it's scrolling, so it doesn't matter. So this will take care of the empty spaces out here. Before doing that, let me do one thing. I'll add that script to the game object which had empty game object which I had placed. I'll run it. Let us see what happens. Okay, once okay. Now what has happened is we have not set the this, so content will go here, and again I will need that content grid layout here. So now save it, run it. See, this, it has taken care, it is like now perfectly aligned. So let us go ahead and one more thing which we need to do, I'll show you one thing, that right now only 2 buttons are there. I'll add some more buttons here, and let us see how it works when it is overflowing. So I'll need to add around 10-20 buttons. I'll just duplicate them. So the scrolling effect should be perfect. If it doesn't, then we need to take care of some of the layouts. So I'm just adding some of the feed items here, the feed item prefab, and we'll see how the scrolling works. If it is working perfectly, then it's fine. Otherwise, we need to add some more constraints. So right now it is like loading, and then it will resize. What is happening is when we are, it is automatically coming down, and the scrolling is not working. So the first thing is, the reason is the viewport is basically there only. So what I am going to do is, I am going to add one more constraint here. Here there is something called content size fitter. In the vertical fit, you choose the preferred size. But as it is running now, like the changes will get lost. We'll have to add again. And now let us run it. Also in the scroll view, remove the horizontal component. Horizontal scroll bar we will not be needing. The other things looks okay, and let us run it. So now it looks okay. It's working perfectly now. The scrolling is working perfectly. So the buttons are now working. This is basically getting aligned as it we wanted. But right now we have added it manually. In the next future episode, we will add it to the script dynamically. So our basically the home screen design more or less is done. I'll see you in the next episode. Keep rocking and happy coding.